Hi, I'm Angie Swiger, and of course I'm running for mayor of Gulf Shores. I've been a resident of Gulf Shores for 22 years. I've been married for 36 years, have 4 fantastic kids who luckily all grew up here and went to Gulf Shores schools. We've owned a business here on the island in Gulf Shores for the entire time we've lived here. So I've always been very excited to be able to invest my time and my money back in the community because I do love this community. One thing I've learned about our community in those 22 years is how amazing and resilient the people are. In that time, we've been through Ivan and Katrina and the oil spill and Sally. So one thing I do know about our people here is that they are our biggest asset because they are so resilient and kind, and so they're very special, and it makes this a very special place. As a matter of fact, my platform was actually built by talking to people. So just to touch on the platform, pieces of the platform real quick, I had ideas about what I thought was important for our community, but I wanted to make sure that that matched the people in the community. So I went out and spoke to people, and amazingly, the same things kept coming up over and over again. So the most important things were residents first. People wanted to feel like residents' needs were addressed. I know we're a tourism industry and tourism is important, but we do have 17,000 residents who live here, and we need to make sure that they're taken care of as well. The next thing is growth. I know growth is a topic all over the county, so growth has always been an issue here. When I was on the school board, it was an issue to deal with. So growth is important. It's something that we need to address. So we need to make sure that, I know we'll address that later in the conversation, but growth is important. Citizens being heard. That was another big thing people spoke about a lot. People didn't feel like they had the connection to our city government as maybe they used to. So we formed some things like a citizens advisory committee to get ideas from people and get their input. And small business. We need to make sure that our small businesses are supported and taken care of, that we help them succeed. Our small businesses are what make us special. So that's a very important piece. Well, I think one of my biggest qualities, and it's something that we really need in our community right now, is that it's very important for me to be inclusive. I like to make sure that I listen to people and that I hear what they have to say. I don't know how you can govern a city without doing that and without getting input. People need to feel like they're heard. So my leadership style is going to be a little bit different. I'm big on an open door policy. During the campaign, people have come into my office and knocked on the door and said, can we talk for a few minutes? And I was happy to have them and sit down and have a discussion about what's going on in their lives or in their neighborhood. So that's very important to me. I want to be responsive. I want to answer calls, answer emails. If you have a problem, I want to know about it. If you have an issue we need to discuss, then I want to be able to sit down and do that. So usually if we can sit down at the table, we can find a solution. And even if we can't find a solution, people want to know that they're heard and that we tried to work on it. The other part of that is I want to have town hall meetings. I think it's very important. I'd like to have them at least quarterly so that people can come in and just old-fashioned, pass the mic, ask questions, answer questions. I don't have any problem having that two-way conversation with the residents in our city. I think they deserve it. As far as accomplishments, being married 36 years is a big accomplishment these days. Having raised 4 amazing kids who are kind and generous and successful is a huge accomplishment for me. Other than that, I would say my largest accomplishment is my service on the school board. I served 2 elected terms, 11 years, and the reason I wanted to serve on the school board is because I wanted to make a difference, and I feel like we did that. We were able to build an addition to the high school, 2 additions to the elementary school. We placed foreign language programs from kindergarten through 12th grade that we didn't have before. The Career Academy program was amazing. I was able to work with principals and teachers to build that program from the ground up, which I think is very important. And we had some people who came to us want to do an IB program similar to what they have in Fairhope, but it was more important important to us to build something that could be beneficial for all students and not just a select few. So that program is amazing. It's still in progress. It's still in place. They've been working on it for 13 years. It's been in place. So imagine how many students we were able to help with that program. So my intention of serving on the school board was to change lives for children, and I feel like we were able to do that. Well, I like to say that my plan is not a 10-year plan, but a day one plan. And the reason is because I don't think we have 10 years. I honestly don't think we have 4 years. I think the things that we need to do in our community to make sure that we protect our values are things that have to start on the first day. We need to reprioritize what our goals are. We need to assess our neighborhoods and the needs in our neighborhoods, and those things have to be done day one, because most of the things that our residents want and the things that they've made complaints about over the years are small things. Maybe it's drainage, maybe it's a broken sidewalk, a bridge that's been out for 17 years. Those things are important to our neighbors and our citizens, but they have not been addressed. We need to reprioritize community parks and our businesses and our services. We need to make sure that we bring back our parades and our family-friendly events. We need to make sure that we have dog parks and social spaces. We need to build a veterans memorial. Those are things that are very important to citizens and maybe have not been addressed at all and are probably not being addressed in the 10-year plan of the other candidates. We want to make sure that we implement some sort of public transportation. That's something that we can work on right away. That takes cars off the road, helps us ease traffic problems, and at the same time gives us people an easier way to get back and forth on and off the island, down the beach road, and to our main access areas, and it's not something that's hard to do. We need to make sure that our residents have input. Citizens Advisory Committee is a great way to do that. I want everyone to have input. So that committee is not an appointed committee where a select few people are able to have input to our community. That is a committee where everyone has a voice. We don't have districts in our community, so people often ask, who's my district representative? So, and we don't have that. Everyone's at large. But what often happens is they call everyone and don't get a call back, or there's some they're unsure of who they're even supposed to call in the first place. The Citizens Advisory Committee gives an opportunity for every single neighborhood in our community to be represented and to have a voice. So that's a great thing in my opinion. We need to have pride in our community. Our road work needs to look great. We have buildings that are empty that need to be maintained. We have vacant lots that need to be cut and maintained so that when we travel through our community and when our guests travel through our community, we're very proud of who we are and what we look like. So we need to just finish what we started. We need to make sure that the projects that have already been started are cohesive, that our infrastructure is cohesive, and that we build our community in the correct way. Growth is the #1 concern of every resident I speak to. Even the residents that have only been here a short period of time understand the tremendous amount of growth that we've had, exponential growth that we have, not only in our city but in our county in general. So I think it's very important for us to get a handle on how we grow, that we grow correctly. So the only way to do that, in my opinion, is to place a moratorium on residential, high volume residential building. I think we need to do that, a temporary moratorium, so that we can assess our infrastructure and our utilities. Can our utilities handle the growth that we've seen? We've had 1,144 new housing units approved in the last 18 months. So, can our utility infrastructure support that? We've had a power outage a few weeks ago. 1,400 households in Gulf Shores were out for a long period of time. We've had water main breaks and sewer main breaks just in the last 2 weeks. So we do have to assess our infrastructure, our utility infrastructure, to make sure that it's keeping up. Road work is another important issue. In my opinion, we are being reactive to growth instead of proactive. So we know what the land use is. We know what the where the housing units can go. So in my opinion, we need to be building roads and road infrastructure before housing units go in so that we can grow correctly. Another part of infrastructure, in my opinion, is businesses and services. I don't think that part of our community is keeping up. So we need to make sure that we have medical services. More than likely, if you're going to your doctor, you have to go to Foley or Fairhope or somewhere else to go to your doctor. If you need a professional like an architect or an engineer, you probably have to go somewhere else to find that person too. It's something as simple as retail shopping. If you want to go shop for a pair of shoes, or if your wife wants a dress, you have to go somewhere else. Social spaces we lack. On a beautiful Saturday afternoon, we can always go to the beach, but sometimes we want to do something different. If you want to do something with your family that doesn't cost anything, you're typically either going to the wharf, or you're going to OWA, or you're going to Fairhope for the afternoon. And so I feel like we're losing dollars, we're losing jobs, and we're losing opportunities to neighboring cities. So I consider that part of our infrastructure as well, because those are services and businesses that support our year-round residents. When I moved here, we had 5,000 year-round residents, and now we have 17,000. So we have to make sure that those residents are taken care of. We have to make sure that we're building infrastructure and business support that supports them as well. They're here when the tourists are gone. They're supporting our community all year long. So we have to make sure that our residents always come first. We have to coexist, residents with tourism, and make sure that we have a community that provides the quality of life that we all deserve.